Today we're going through our first paycheck closeout for March. And what this is we've done our full monthly budget. It's a zero-based budget. And then we do our weekly spending plan where we break it down week by week according to our paychecks to make sure that we have the income in each paycheck to cover the bills that are coming out of that paycheck. If we didn't have the income to cover each of those bills, we would have to call and move due dates. We need to plan to get a month ahead in our bill account. All of those kinds of things we could do to problem solve if we were not set up for our weekly spending plan. It's important to do that because you do all this work to get your monthly budget set up. And even if your monthly budget is set up and your weeks don't fall in line according to your bills, then you could still be in some trouble. So we need to make sure all of that lines up. Once we have our weekly spending plan, then we take and close out each paycheck to make sure that we're on track throughout the month, spending according to what we planned to spend. This is just like a regular check-in for how we're doing with our monthly budget or our weekly spending plan.
Hi, I'm Megan with Bethel Budgets. I'm here because it's more than just math. At some point, you've probably built a budget. You've laid out your income, you've laid out your expenses, and thought it's simple math. I'll just stick to what's on the paper. But then life happened and your budget didn't work out. The reason? Because it's more than just math. That's where I come in. Let's figure this out together. Don't give up. You've got this.
So on the screen, you can see that on the left side, I have a Google spreadsheet that has my weekly paycheck closeout. It's just like the weekly spending plan. So we have on here all of the numbers from our budget and all of the numbers from our weekly spending plan. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to take the numbers from every dollar, which is on the right side of the screen, and we're going to plug those into these medium purple columns. And then that'll tell us what we plan to spend versus what we spent. So down here on the left in these kind of tan colored boxes, these numbers all came out of our monthly budget. When we did our monthly budget, that's what these numbers are. Now these light purple boxes here, these are all from our weekly spending plan, and they go across all the way across. So these numbers are from our weekly spending plan. So we've got our monthly budget, which is zero-based budget, and we did our weekly spending plan, which each of those weeks go down to zero-based budget. Now we're going to plug in our numbers and see what we spent compared to what we planned. So I've got my every dollar open over here. I planned to get paid on the 1st, and I planned to earn $2,100 because we are starting to max out our HSA contributions. So I didn't know exactly how much I was going to get paid this month. I tried to do my own math and figured it would be around $2,100. However, when I went in and upped that contribution, I missed the deadline for that to actually be effective on this paycheck. So it won't be effective till the next paycheck. I'm kind of bummed about that because once you start new numbers, well, first of all, I was excited and want to get started on a new goal. But once you get new numbers in your paycheck, it takes a couple months to get the hang of that. So I was eager to start practicing and getting the hang of my new numbers, and now I have to wait another month. I'm not bummed about a higher level of income. If you can see over here on the every dollar, I made more than $2,100. My problem is I'm not getting started on my goal as fast as I wanted, and it's just going to take longer for me to figure out these new numbers when they do start. So, we'll figure it out, but it's just going to take longer now, and that's okay. It's okay. It's all going to be okay. One step at a time. I've got this, right? Okay. So tithe. Scroll down to tithe in every dollar. It's zero. I planned $210. My husband and I were traveling, so we weren't at church. And I talked about this in my last video. So it's zero. This number will be red the next week because we're going to have to take it out and pay twice. And I made a note here. Actually, I didn't. I'm making a note here. that we need to pay this tithe. Okay, so we don't have our tithe. A lot of people will automate their tithes, which is great. We don't have ours automated because we don't always get paid the same amount or on the right dates. I like to have our on, dates that line up with Sundays. So I like to have control. I'm a controlling person, you could say. I like to have control over when those come out, and I like to be able to line it up with my budget, except for when this happens and I didn't do it when I planned to. So it doesn't always work out in my favor, but usually it works out just fine. Okay, moving on to water, sewer, trash. Water is 0. I planned 0. Gas did not come out when I planned for it to. I'm going to have to check my due dates on that one. Okay, make a note of that. Expire due date. Okay, I'll check on that. So it looks like that we'll just carry that over. It's going to happen. It'll come out. It's just I need to check on my due dates. Electricity did come out. Internet, planned 0, spent 0. Okay, let's move on down to groceries. I planned $58 and I spent $46.03. Good for us, staying on budget. Okay, family dining out, 0. Oh, didn't plan a date night, but it looks like we did go out to eat. That was hard with traveling. We went out to eat, and it wasn't an expensed dining out. This was just us, and that's okay. Let's see. Gas and car wash, planned for 50 but spent 0. Okay, so that makes up for the unplanned date. Car wash, 0, spent 0. Personal, 0 on phone. Okay, shopping, $10.24. I didn't plan to spend any money on that either. Okay, hair, 0. Birthdays, clean house. I keep that there. It's my dream. Someday I'm going to have somebody come clean my house for me. It's just not today. Someday. I keep it on there because it's a dream, a goal. It's not a very serious goal. I have way higher priorities. Okay, pet care, 0. Entertainment. So entertainment is a multiple due date situation. So I have subscriptions that come out early in the month and then all throughout the month. So I put all of that money in the beginning of the month and treat it like an envelope that it'll carry over. So we spent $15.49 so far. Actually, we canceled a subscription last month, so this number went down, and then we just canceled another subscription. So by next month, these numbers will be different again, which is good. I like numbers that are smaller when it comes to bills. Okay, tuition, that's not supposed to come out till the 3rd paycheck of the month, but it looks like, I don't know, somebody ate lunch at school maybe? Maybe a couple of my kids did. I don't know what that is. I'm going to make a note to look that up. So I'm keeping a list here as I'm going through this. These are all going to be agenda items for us to talk about in our budget meeting that we have on the weekend. So every weekend, my husband and I have a what we call a state of the family meeting, and we get together and we talk about all of the kids. We talk about the calendar, we talk about the meal plan, we talk about the budget. And so all of these things are things that I'll bring up when we have that state of the family meeting. It's been so good for us. It's really been amazing. It was something we talked about with the budget babes too. When we had our February 25th meeting, I invited the budget babes to bring their budget teams. So they brought their spouses, their fiancés, whoever they budget with, their accountability partners, and we walked them all through how to have a state of the family meeting. And I think it was very, very helpful for some of them. I know it's been really helpful for us. it keeps us on the same page in so many areas that actually our big blow up fights have decreased. I'm not saying that we never fight or disagree, but there are so many things that we are addressing in a calm, cool, collected manner just because it's part of our routine to talk about. We talk about each of the kids, we talk about the dogs, we talk about family issues, we talk about the calendar, who's going where and when, and who's picking up who. And so we drop the ball a lot less. There's a lot less fighting when things don't happen the way that one of us is expecting them to. So it's been really healthy for us, and I highly recommend you doing something similar. I plan to make a video about it. It's just, I haven't done it yet. I've got a lot of videos to make, and this is not my full-time job. This is just for fun. So I digress. Let's get back to this. Lifestyle, child care 0, pet care 0. Because that, oh, we did lifestyle already. Tuition, that's where I got off track. Okay, health, 0 all across the board, which is good. Which is good. I am concerned because, so supplements, we do a lot of supplements. Actually, we'll be doing less because I've stopped a lot of the supplements that I was taking, but we just decided to switch some of those over to our HSA, and it won't have that big influx from my paycheck this month, but I mean, it has a balance. It'll be okay. But I do have an HSA tracker, so I'll have to go take a look at that. Oh, whoops, I'm scrolling up too high. Debt. Okay, debt is our mortgage, and that did come out on time. $1496.98. Okay, the phone, the debt digging is my new phone because I broke mine, but I don't have a due date for that just yet. I'm not sure when that will be coming out. Health insurance, we don't do any of that because that comes out of a sinking fund. We save up little by little for that. Because if you pay for it biannually or annually, you get a discount. You can save some money. Spouse spending, 0. All of the child income, that comes out on the first or the second Saturday of each month. So we haven't done anything with that yet. And then I didn't spend any money. So the rest of this is all 0. That's not bad for our first paycheck of the month closeout. So we have $691.56 left, which then rolls over. You can see that at the top of this next week's column. So when I enter the paycheck amount from the next paycheck, which usually comes around the 4th, this will just add to it. So I'll go ahead and show you. If we say it's the 4th, and he gets his $2,400, then see this number here went up. It's not $2,400, it's $2,400 plus the $691. So that, I'm gonna delete this before I forget. When we're doing our weekly spending plan, we want to calculate all that out for 0 because we're planning our bills to come out of that income. We want to make sure we have enough. But when we're in reality, when we're paying bills, things don't always come out exactly as they're planned, as you can see. Or we miss, or we're traveling, or things like that happen. So I am pleased with how this first paycheck went. We didn't go over, well, we dined out when we didn't plan to, but I think that was the only category we really went over in. And this education tuition, I need to figure out what that $13 was for in order to keep us on track. But that's why we do this. We're watching everything every week to make sure that we are on track. We don't want to just wait to the end of the month to take a peek at how our spending is going. We do this as we go regularly. So every day I am logging into every dollar and I'm categorizing whatever transactions have come in. Every week I'm checking in on my weekly spending plan and closing out my paychecks. And every month I close out my whole budget. To make progress, you have to do these closeouts so that you know how you did. You have to be able to make a plan. When these unplanned things come up, when things happen, you have to know what happened in order to do better next time. So it's all about progress monitoring, if you want to teach your term out there. So progress monitoring, watching what you've done to make new goals for the future. I hope this was helpful. I know this feels like a lot, but you can do this. Keep going. You've got this.